We call this a capitulation. Cancel all orders. Even Kramer doesn't know what to think. They're going to probably halt trading. We told you that we didn't want to see you get hooked. And you may be hooked. Look at that. Look at it.
Good evening, stock traders, and welcome to Stock Traders Talk Radio here on a beautiful Wednesday night, February 22nd, 2012. I am your host, STT. Joining me on tonight's program, I have Kia.
Aloha, STT. How you doing tonight?
Aloha, mahalo, bra.
All right.
Did I make a sentence?
Yep.
I did? Oh, man.
Yeah, you're Hawaiian.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Nice. All right, also joining us on the show tonight is Mr. Cop.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you doing, Mike?
I am fantastic. How about yourself?
Oh, doing great. Great.
That's good to hear. Good to hear. Filling in tonight for Hoss, we have Stock Sumo.
Hey, gang. Oh, man, it's been a while. Glad to be back.
Good to have you back on the show, sir.
Oh, pleasure to be here.
Okay, last but not least, had to take a little break in the beginning of the show, but she is back. QT Cal.
Hello, Mike. Hi, guys. How are ya?
You made it just in time, huh?
I did. I did.
How was it?
Quick.
Quick. Okay. Just want to make sure everything's okay over there.
I would say fantabulous. Oh, I can because Haas isn't here to make fun of me tonight.
That's right.
So fantabulous.
Oh, it's fantabulous. Ooh, that's good to know. Good to know. Okay. What a trading day out there today. Wow. So
yeah, there was a lot of runners today.
Big runners out there today. I hope some people listening got in on a few of those. We'll be talking about those a little later in the show. But first, if you missed last night's show, we had an exclusive CEO interview. It was a good one. You might want to go listen to it. That would be for the 21st. You can find our videos on Investors Hub under videos and then market commentary. Now, tonight's show, we have yet another Stock Spotlight for you. Doing tonight's Stock Spotlight, I hope, because last time I did it this way, somebody interrupted me, but I'm going to go with it for tonight. Tonight's Stock Spotlight is handled by none other than Mr. Cop. Mr. Cop, take it away.
All right, thanks. Basically what we're going to do tonight is we're going to do TEMN. That's Tango Echo Mike November, and it's Imperial Americas. Pretty hot stock of late. I know we've kind of been talking about the volume that was starting to increase over the course of last week and those type of things, but today she took on a new life of her own, so let's kind of run through that. As whenever we do our DD, you guys know the first thing we always like to do, OTCmarkets.com. You want to go there, get your quote, get your charts, company info, news, etc., things like that. Now, this one's going to be a little differently because you should automatically make an assumption based off where it was and the 8K that they recently had that a lot of this stuff isn't going to be updated, and they'll update it as it goes. I'm sure that's their plan. But if you go there and you look at the company info, basically you're going to get where they are, Sarasota, Florida. And this used to be TeamNationHoldings.com is what it was. And I'll explain that here in a minute. So the website you're going to see is TeamNationsHoldings.com, which is clearly not the route we're going right now, as well as the share structure. Now the outstanding that it has is $2,137,000,000, and the authorized is an astounding $1 billion. So you kind of figure that out, that doesn't actually make sense because the authorized wasn't updated since June 12, 2010, and the shares outstanding wasn't updated since November 18, 2011. So that information you already know is wrong, right? So you want to go to the filings and then check that type of stuff out. But it gives some of the key information there that you can actually figure out and go from there. However, the news piece and that type of stuff you can load right up there as well. There'll be no new items for TEMN and then the financial short sale. But what I want to do is I want to bounce you from there, because we know there's been changes with the company, to the actual Investors Hub board, which is Imperial Americas, stock ticker TEMN. And there's some incredible, absolutely incredible DD out there. Secotech is pretty much a mainstay on the board and has been for a very, very long time, it looks like, or at least he's making his presence known in a hurry. And what he has there, you go through the iBox. You guys know how we like doing that, right? Currently, it's got 210 followers, so I expect that to be probably about 300 here soon. And the very first thing you're going to see is read the 8K regarding the acquisition. The OS is $2.1 billion. The float is $1 billion, and the authorized shares are $5 billion. Okay, completely different than what OTC market said, but that's one of the things you check, and then you bounce it back from the filings. Then it goes through and it gives you a whole bunch of information on Alonzo Pierce and the other board of directors and their different positions. And you know, the analysis, really good iBox. And then it goes down to the next thing at the middle of the iBox is it'll give you the 8K. It will give you the press release from December. It will give you a movie file that they actually had in September and press releases that are further back. This is a very, very, very good iBox and very well kept DD that they actually have going here, as well as the investors' information, how to contact the IR, and from there. So what I'm going to do is on post 13922, which is Secotech. Got to give them the credit for that. Basically, it gives you a company brief. Imperial Americas develops, imports, and markets supply branded alcoholic beverages with the initial offering of tequila and bourbon. And then it goes through its branding type, and once we get to the websites and those type of things, branding's everything. I mean, they did a really class job on how they did the branding. You know, the estimates show that Imperial Americas Inc. employs one person has an annual revenue of $140K. That was in 2009. Clearly, that is not the case as of today. So I want to bounce to the 8K next, so that way I can give you the kind of real skinny of what's actually happening here. This cycle between 0.003 and 0.004 for a long time, so I give you a heads up of now the fact that it's at 0.0014, huge gain, absolutely big gain that we have there. I mean, you're talking well over 200% and huge volume, and I'll get into that a little later. All right, so I'm on the 8K, and the 8K basically was dated 1/11/2012, filed in the morning, and essentially I want to read one key thing to you. On January 5th, 2012, the corporation had the majority controlling interest changed in the control of Imperial Americas through the purchase of 4 sets of Series A preferred shares by Victory Partners, LLC. In a private sale, the 4 main holders of 60 Series A preferred shares, being Dennis Duffy, 15 preferred shares, Janet Okerlund, 15 preferred shares, Daniel Duffy, 15 preferred shares, and Norman Francis, 15 preferred shares, totaling 60, right? Additionally, Victory Partners received the rights to 1 billion common shares held by the name of the 4 individuals in the amount of 250 million shares each. Such shares were purchased by Victory Partners, and thus controlling interest of the company was passed, while simultaneously a share exchange agreement was entered into for simultaneous exchange of such preferred shares with Victory Partners for a sum of $475,000 to be owed to Victory Partners from the Imperial America. Additionally, Victory Partners negotiated the purchase and assignment of some $520,000 in debt owed to the 4 parties previously due from the Team Nation Holding Corp. You know, and it goes through at the time of the agreement, tells you what's going on, the board of directors, and the different filing. Then there's a disposition of the completion of the acquisition. The agreement with Victory Partners creating an acquisition of assets, being the controlled Series A preferred of Team Nation Holding Corp. Exchange with Victory Partners for such shares with the Imperial America created a direct exchange of shares for debt to Victory Partners, which makes which makes such matters an acquisition of Imperial Americas as a new public company. That's how that actually happened. This is one of these filings you'll kind of want to read and maybe read twice. Further disclosure of the description of the assets shall be made in an additional 8K filing to include audited financials and pro forma of Imperial Americas, right? So they're telling you in an 8K that they're going to give you audited financials. That's a huge, huge plus. Imperial Americas operation in corporate financial matters will mean that it is not a shell company, as those items are defined by Rule 12B-2 under the Exchange Act, right? So it goes through and tells you what's going on there. Then you're going to get the departure of directors and certain officers, election of directors, and appointment of certain officers. And that's where Mr. Alonzo Pierce is the Chief Executive Officer. Bruce Klein is the Chief Operating Officer, Secretary, and Director Chairman. Todd Wagoner is the Chief Financial Officer and Treasurer. Joel Contreras is the Director. All right, and then it goes through their bios and their background and those type of things. I don't want to sit here and read you the bios, but it's essential for you to, if you're going to invest in this stock, you definitely want to look at that. Now let's go to the next thing that we're talking about here. Seco Tech's got a very beautiful DD piece where he gives the company brief, and then he has the new company websites. And the company website, one of them is ImperialAmericas.com, and another one is TequilaDistinguido.com, and of course you have the Facebook. Now, when you go to ImperialAmericas.com, I'm going to go ahead and launch this here real quick. What you'll notice is a lot of branding. I mean, this is a very, very sharp website. They have it's set up really, really nice. And the branding is what I'm always concerned about when I'm talking about beverage companies or something like that. I mean, I'm sure many of you remember back to a couple of DKAM and all those different companies, and they did a bunch of things that were I wouldn't say similar, but they traded up at the 20 to 25 cent range at one time a few years ago. And then, when you go through the distribution fee phase and those type of things, there was some things didn't go so well there to where there was dilution and more shares into the market. But based off this 8K and what they're actually doing to make this a viable business, it's definitely on the right track. But what you see there is news clippings regarding all kinds of different things regarding where their products have been. And product placement is in most cases is essential to even any form of success. So they got an About Us, right? Talks about the tequila and the bourbon. Then it gives the analysis, and then there's an investor page there as well. And it shows a lot of the different venues or places where the product has been, which is really huge and adds a lot of value to it. Very classy job. As well as the ESR, which goes through the Imperial Social Responsibility, and that's a requirement when you have the alcoholic beverages, and theirs is done really well. So the brands, if you go to that, they have the Distingo Tequila, the Broken Barrel Bourbon, Independence Rye, and then, of course, the recipes. And their contact information is updated there. Now, it has the Sarasota Courthouse for center, for Imperial Americas, which is still that Sarasota, Florida address that was on the OTC markets. Now, one thing I didn't notice was, let's double check this on the OTC markets just for the phone number. Make sure to see if that's still the same. Okay, 941-309-5408. Right, and we flip back on to the site, same phone number. So to be able to reach them through the OTC markets as well as through their websites, all that stuff matches up, which is a pretty damn good sign. And then they just got to get the share structure and those type of things updated. So, and then you can follow them on Twitter and those type of things. So that's one of them. The other one is the Tequila Distingo. All right, so you go to that one. It is Tequila Distinguido, right, as in like distinguished with Guido on the end of it. Same exact thing. Now this one's a little different, where to enter this area, you basically got to have put in your age and those type of things. But as well, branding the bottles and all those things are pretty good. And then they're on Facebook and those type of things. So he's got the 8K in there. and where it talks about different pieces of that, and then entries. So let me go down to a key piece of this, right, where he talks about it's just pretty much a copy of the 8K is what it is, and the signatures by Alonzo Pierce, the president and chief executive officer. He's got the official name change in here as well, and then a little bio of Alonzo Pierce. Now, the reason why I didn't want to go through the big one is because this is pretty short. Ever since the company's debut back in 2008 as a marketing and importer company, Mr. Pierce has not only been credited as the founder of Imperial Americas, but he has solely been responsible for running all facets of the business, including managing all day-to-day operations, product quality and control, front office to back-end operations, client reputation management, sales and marketing solutions, and overseeing the sales and executive management teams. Now, Bruce Klein is on the board of directors. Ed, you can catch him on Forbes. There's a link there as well. Bruce Klein has served as vice chairman of the board of VA since it was founded in September 2002, and has been our chairman of the board from March 2005 to January 2009. Since February 99, he has served as a managing partner of Victory Partners, right? So you've seen some of the connections. Company created to fund private businesses in their early stages in the last 5 years. Victory has funded 6 businesses in technology, vitamins, and internet service areas, in which 3 have become public companies and 3 remain private. Now, and then he goes through from 1992 to 97. He was registered representative of the Equitable Companies, responsible for sales and services to high-income clients, acting investor advisor and estate planner, et cetera, and then a little further back. Share structure is updated there where it talks about the 60 preferred Series A shares. Each share is convertible to 1% of common shares. It's a pretty big deal. So float, key thing about the float, 1.14 billion out of the, and the outstanding is 2.14. All right, so let me bounce here real quick. Okay, all right, so then it goes down a little further where now you have the, it has articles associated with the company, and I'm not going to go too much into that. Just realize that you can. They did different venues, a barbecue cook-off contest, to where they've been. A lot of good pictures, a lot of YouTube stuff running out there, and the southernwine.com. So there's some great information to actually find by using that. So Secotech. Now, one thing they do on this board too that is some boards do it, and it's kind of cool. Basically what they do is they track how many shares people have and those type of things, which is, tracking millions of it. And it looks like Secotech has an absolute crap ton of them when you actually sit there and you look at the share structure and what he actually owns. All right, now then there's 4 stickies, right? And the reason why I want to go over the stickies is one's the chart, and then there's the various tequila distinguo promotional events. Now, this is what I want you to look at, right? They're showing you the golf outings that they did, all the different stuff that they've done where they put the product, right? It's all about product placement, getting the word out, different bars, different things like that. Stadiums, big games, that type of stuff. You can tell it looks like they're at the Texans there for one of them. And so they're giving you proof that their product is actually out there and they're going to that that huge marketing push that you will. And also, there's a lot of pretty girls, which always helps to sell stuff. Then Barrett 4-5 has a lot of good DD as well. Now, what's unusual about this board is normally we have to go all over the place to track down where the website is, where this link is, where's the 8K, where's the filing. These guys running this board are giving it all to you in their stickies, that's pretty damn impressive, and it makes for anybody coming to the stock relatively easy to go through the checklist of the stuff that they're looking for their due diligence. This is pretty much a class act with it. But some of the names that are talked about is there's a press release on some things that they did from a public relations standpoint regarding the products. Then there was here's one, Service Public Relations Specialist for Professional Poker Players, Annie Duke and Tiffany Michelle, Don Cheadle, Annie Up for Africa, CushTV.com, Tequila Distinguo, I cannot even say that right, Tequila Distinguido, NBA World Champion Sean Marion, and New York Knicks Ronnie Turiff. and it has the link there showing what it is. And then they have Kane West, right? If you click on that, it gives a link to something that he has, actually, what is it? It's one of the bars that they have, and it's actually she, to where it's showing a picture of what's actually going on there. YouTube clips and sponsored birthday parties, football stars, all kinds of stuff. So what they're doing is they're aligning their product with power players, and they may not be the biggest power players that are actually out there, but they're definitely some that are able to put the product out there and give it a very good face. And like I said, whenever you have pretty girls, it's always a good seller, and whenever you market with stars, and most cases it's not always about the premier star, whether it be Kobe Bryant or whatever. When you talk about NBA, it's the team and that thing. So now I kind of want to go to the chart. Anybody got that? Anyone? All right. Well, let me give it to you.
Yep.
You got it? All right. Go ahead.
Okay, so great things looking at the chart. I mean, whoever got that 001, congratulations. First thing I like is on the weekly, you got that 20 crossing up through that 50, and I'm sorry, it's about ready to cross up through the 50, but you've got your price per share closing over that 50. You got your accumulation distribution. One thing I like to look for on that is when I pretty much on any indicator or oscillator, I throw a 50 MA on it, just a moving average, and you can see looking back over long-term charts, even with penny stocks, when it crosses through that, extremely bullish. It's done that. It's also found its support off that 50 on the ultimate oscillator. Also found it off that slow stow, and that all correlated with that 001 bottom. Yeah, it's had one heck of a run. I mean, it's up 250% for the week alone. So, yeah, it's definitely had a nice run. What I do like about it is you see the last time it had the run back in early 2011, it couldn't get above that 50-day moving average. So that's very, very bullish in itself. Coming in on a daily, after looking at the weekly, let's see here as it loads. This is where you see that 20 crossing through that 50, and also having the 20 cross through that 150, which a lot of traders call the smoothing indicator or the moving average. It kind of smooths it out, and I just like the way you see the money flow is staying positive. It's crossing back up through the same thing, that 50 MA. Everything on it's looking really solid. I mean, the only thing I don't like about it is whenever you got a chart that's ran 250%, 75% today, makes it hard to buy, but we've seen what some of these things can do. So all in all, yeah, very, very bullish right now, and could definitely get more bullish. Like I said, you got that last high back there at, I believe, 3.8, was it?
Yeah.
Last time it had a nice little spike. So, it's definitely got some room to go on this chart, looking at it first glance.
What do you think about
without watching level 2?
You see the Accum distro?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The thing's looking sweet, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost vertical.
Yeah, I mean, it's been getting accumulated, no doubt.
No, good stuff. Amy, you have anything you want to add?
I was just looking at the product itself and the branding and stuff. I don't know if you guys want to talk a little bit more about that, but I found a review online as well, which it was pretty good in regards to the tequila. So it just gives an example, or actually a more detailed explanation of the 3 tequilas that they offer. So the Distinguido Silver Tequila, it says it's more of a lemon lime focused tequila. It says that Blancos rarely have this much nuance in them, but Distinguido is impressively complex. The Distinguido Reposado Tequila is aged at least 2 months and up to 6 months in old bourbon barrels, which is kind of interesting. Gives it a pale yellow color, similar in character to the silver, but with caramel notes a bit more pronounced. It feels a bit hotter, really, and ultimately that the Blanco has a lot more balance to it, but it's still very good. And then the Distinguido Añejo Tequila is aged from 1 to 3 years, so that's going to be the premium. And it gives it a really good review. It says it's surprisingly light in color and caramel notes and also they provide more sweetness, almost like a dessert note. So those are your three tequila, the types of tequila under the Distinguido brand. So in case anybody's interested in the actual product.
Awesome. Hey, great recap on that. I'm a tequila drinker myself. I like different spirits and whatnot. So that I thought you did a great job finding that review. Now, where did you find that review? You just did a Google search and
it's actually a website that's called drinkhacker.com, and it gives different reviews on different types of alcohol. So they have a specific category for tequila. So I thought that was pretty interesting, that because it's always nice to understand the product in regards to, since they have three distinct flavors, it might be good for the listeners and those who support the stock to know exactly what kind of product they have out there. So you can go to drinkhacker.com.
Nice. All right, let's talk about the money flow. I mean, that's why we pick the stocks that we pick when we do spotlights. So let's kind of jump there. Huge day today, right? Today we had the 78, almost 79 million. It was 78,985,000. Closed at 0.0014, up 75%. The 110 grand flowed to this. Now, yesterday you had 30 grand flow to the stock, and it was 43 million shares, and traded between 0.0004 and 0.0010. Right, so you see what's happening here. You have an escalating cash flow coming in. But what I want to do is I want to pull you back to the 8K, right? The 8K was filed on 1/11/2012, right? So I want to pull you all the way back to right around that area, right? And what you're having is you're slowly seeing 2 grand, 3 grand, 4 grand, 9 grand, but all trading in the 2 to 3 to 4. Right, so there's accumulation happening in a major way. On the, it looks like on the 8th of February, you had 8 grand, almost 9, and it was almost 25 million in shares traded between 3 and 4. Now, if you bounce it back, way back, right, I'm going to go all the way back to October 21st. And the reason why I'm bouncing you back there, well, let me go to October 19th. You have $5,600 running into the stock for 28 million, all trading at 2, right? 2 days later, on the 21st, you have $17,700 running into the stock, and it's almost 51 million shares. All right. So between this time frame, and another 4 days later, another 10 grand rolls into it, and 29 million shares. All right, between the 3 and 4. So it's really, really clear that almost 100 million shares back in October was accumulated in presence for what's actually happening here. Now, as you get to the November time frame, you got a couple 10 million days, 12 million days, 14, 2 more 10s, and there's probably some very minute flipping going there, right? So 2s may have sold at 3s, or 3s may have sold at 4s, but it doesn't look like it was much. So what you were getting, whenever you see percentage increases over time, right, when you see a 50% or a 33%, you're channeling in that area between 2, 3, and 4, all right? And it doesn't really mean much unless you're a 2 to 3 flipper or a 3 to 4 flipper. But for somebody that's accumulating, they don't really care about that price. They're in for the much longer than what it is. So then what you see is solid 3s happening in December. To where you're getting 20 million, and it's just slowly accumulating, little by little by little by little by little, right? And then you get to the area in February where all of a sudden, you get out of the blue, you get 6 grand. A couple days later, you get 10 grand. Then it's 5, 4, 8, right? So you're seeing money start flowing into this, but not enough to set off the alerts, right? That's when people do their scanners and those type of things. That's what you're actually seeing. So when you look at it, and I don't know what programs many people use. Okay, as you guys know, I use DD Amanda, and all I care about is money in most cases. I don't even really care about the story. That's the second thing I look at. I want to see the money. I want to see what was happening and why somebody was actually buying something. And you got to cut some percentages out of it, like where somebody may have been a bag holder from the past, and as soon as they're a little buy-in, they actually flipped out. So put it in longer hands because they like the story. So you got some percentage of that. But clearly, when you look at this, there is accumulation for quite a few months on this. I would say probably a good 2.5, 3 months, and the accumulation was done very, very professional. So I don't know who that is, but the case is it was done. So now what you're seeing is they're tying up the float, is what they did to a certain degree. So you're probably seeing. If I was a gambling man, I would sit there and probably say you have about 400 to 500 million tied up before you actually started to throw the power of the of what's going on here. And then of course you get a couple spikes when you file the 8K, and you get a couple spikes when you do a new event, but nothing to the degree that you've seen over the last 2 days. So what's actually happened over the last 2 days that made $30,000 come in yesterday and made $110,000 come in today? Clearly they're getting ready to go on the move, and that's what it's all about when we have the money ball and we say follow the money. This thing went up pretty quick in the gate till about 10 o'clock. It hit it opened up at 0.008, got the 9, got 10 very, very quick. Then stayed there for about 20 minutes. Then popped to the 11, then popped to 12, stayed there for a little bit, and went all the way up and popped to the 14. And then you got a little bit of cascading sideways action that happened all the way throughout the day to get that large amount of volume that you have. And then you get the 2.2 tick uptick. Well, it was actually 11 to 14, so it was a 3-point uptick from it looks like about 15:45 to the market close. So definitely a staircase is happening. The one thing about it is I'm sure a little bit of MM shock happened over this huge influx of volume happening to where that preparation probably wasn't made. So I would gamble that they'll be ready for that tomorrow. Point being, the money flow is telling you where it's going, and that's when they're down this low. That's the key thing you're looking at. The last thing I'm going to end it with is in the 8K they said the statement about the audited financials. That's pretty rare. I don't, for those of you that read filings, you know it very often what's written there is financials, right? These guys actually wrote audited financials, and that which tells me a couple things. Tells you that they're serious and that they're binding themselves, which means that the game that you're seeing right now is not the game that they're getting ready to show you. And it looks like they're getting ready to play for keeps and make a very viable business. And it's always strange when you talk about a stock that's actually trading at 0.0014 fractions of a penny. But there's some magic getting ready to happen here, and that's what we're seeing. I'm ready to vote.
Okay, good stuff there. All right, buy, sell, or hold on the stock spotlight tonight. Let's see what everybody's thinking. Going to start it off with Sithikia.
How did I know you were going to me?
I don't know.
Psychic.
It's like blood in me now.
Yeah, wine at heart, Mike. Let's see here. Man, it's hard to go against a beast like this when we've been seeing these multi-baggers run. And Cop pointed out, I like the money coming in. I don't think they're done yet. I think I'm going to have to put a buy on this one, even though I'm probably wrong.
Oh, my God. Give yourself a chance.
I can't get it right. I mean, where's my coin? Let me flip a coin on this. No, let's go with a buy. Get me right, baby.
All right. QT.
I got the lime ready. I got the salt ready. I got the tequila. It's a buy.
It's a buy. Sumo.
I'm just kind of looking at my track record here, and I don't have the best. I don't have the worst track record. So
Best either, though.
I'm going to say a buy.
Going with the buy.
Wow.
Okay, Cop, you're up.
I'm a buy. That's just way too much money flying to that thing for, you know, I don't want to give targeted prices, but there's a push in play right now, and you're seeing it live. I would recommend taking a picture.
Okay, take a picture.
For the record, I'm 5 for 8. So if I get this one right, that'll make me 6 for 9. That's not too bad.
Yeah, but you know.
Yeah.
We're in the 20s, my friend. Whatever. Okay. And I will say a buy also just because I'm a follow the crowd type of guy.
Wow. All buys?
All buys.
Well, because you put me first, so you know I would have been
time.
a sale.
I bet you it's been a little while to have this many on here and have that many buys. I do want to throw out a little disclaimer out there so the audience knows. We do not own any positions in this stock. And, you know, if we did, we would probably tell you that, yes, we own positions in stock and we might sell it. However, we do not own this stock. We picked it based off the potential that's actually happening there.
Okay. Coming up on the show, STT went on the road this weekend, and we're going to discuss where we went, why we went, and what we saw. That's coming up after the commercial break. Then we're going to jump over and do some surfing. One of my favorite segments of the show. I love that segment. Siffy, you're the best. Did I ever tell you that? Absolute best. Am I still on the air? Oh, shoot, I'm on the air. Okay. Sorry about that. Hey now.
Boy.
What the heck just happened? Holy Jesus. All right, we're going to take a small commercial break, and we'll be back with STT traveling the country. We'll see what's going on there. We'll be right back.
And now, a quick word from thepennybin.com. What does one penny say to the other penny? Let's get together and make some sense. Are you tired of losing your hard-earned pennies? Be sure to visit thepennybin.com and download our iPhone app where delivery of our stock plays right into your iPhone instantly. The time to start making money is now. Please be advised that you may make huge sums of money and that thepennybin.com will not be held liable.
Stock traders, sound the charge and scale your way over to BlueHorseshoeStocks.com. Nowhere else will you find a simpler, more straightforward penny stock block, bounce play, momentum alert, short-term, long-term. It's all here. Get hits with ground floor opportunities before the promotions hit. Blue Horseshoe's track record speaks for itself with percentage gains numbering in the thousands. Sign up for our pre-market mailing list and receive picks before they're published. Welcome to Blue Horseshoe Stocks, where you're afforded the opportunity to observe a team of seasoned traders scrape and scour the market for every sub-penny, penny, and penny-plus stock with a chance to blow its top. BlueHorseshoeStocks.com.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be where you can see the troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name. You wanna go where people know people are all the same. You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
Welcome back to Stock Traders Talk Radio. I'm your host, STT. Joining me on tonight's program, I have Cop, Sifikia, Stock Sumo, and QT Cal. Yeah, I had to get some cheers in there. Did you like it?
Awesome.
Did you like
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Hate that song.
I know. I think I played a rock and roll every single night. Why not?
Worst song ever.
No.
Great show, terrible song.
No. It's a great song. Great song. All right. Now, as I told everybody prior to our commercial break, that STT was traveling this weekend. I am going to let Stock Sumo tell you where we went, why we went, and what we saw. Sumo.
Just got back last night from the International Traders Expo. This week it was in New York City. This is the third year in a row that I've been to the event. And this year I took more home with me than the last 2 years combined. The International Traders Convention, travels across the country, across the world. They always have some of the top speakers, the professionals in their industry, anything from technical analysis, currencies, commodities, ETFs, futures, Forex, options, you name it. If you're a trader, you got to go check out this show one time in your life, and I guarantee you'll want to go back just because you constantly want to stay learning. You want to be educated. That's why I love the show. You guys do some great DD. It's all about breaking things down and learning and bettering yourself. And one of the best things that I learned from the show was from Oliver Velez. Here's a quick summary on Oliver Velez. Oliver Velez, international best-selling author, trader, advisor, and entrepreneur, is one of the most sought-after speakers and teachers on the subject of trading financial markets for a living. His seminars and speaking events have been attended by traders all over the world, and his best-selling books, Strategies for Profiting on Every Trade and Tools and Tactics of the Master Day Trader, are considered relevant for anyone interested in trading markets for a living. Mr. Velez has educational DVDs that includes Essential Strategies to Trade for Life, 5 Trading Tactics that Beat the Market, and Trade for Wealth, Attaining Sustainable Wealth in Today's Market. This guy was a genius, and listening to him speak really inspired me. One of the key things that I learned from him was, you have to really assess where you're at and where you want to be in 5 years. And the people that you put yourself around and the places that you frequent the most are going to be a direct reflection on where you're going to be in 5 years. So if you're surrounding yourself with positive people that are on your level, or, in most cases you want to surround yourself with people that are better. When I'm on the golf course, for example, if I'm golfing with a couple of schleps that shoot in the hundreds, I tend to golf worse. I don't know about you guys if you guys golf at all, but when I'm golfing with somebody that's a good golfer, it really steps my game up. And you have to think the same way as a stock trader. If you want to be a winner, you have to surround yourself with winners. You guys on this show are winners. We've been, seeing it in your work. It's been excellent. So this guy Oliver Velez taught me a lot just from learning him hearing him say that. One of the speakers that I didn't get a chance to see, his name is Larry Williams. So let me give you a brief background on Larry Williams, because I'm looking forward to going back to the show to hear from this guy. Larry Williams has been a trader and market researcher since the mid-1960s and is the author of numerous books and as a speaker at major investment conferences throughout the world. Currently, his time is spent in full-time trading and research. Mr. Williams has created numerous market indicators, including Williams %R, the Ultimate Oscillator, COT indicators, that's C-O-T, POIVI indicators, that's P-O-I-V-I, and that's a combination of price, open interest, volume accumulation indicator, synthetic VIX indexes that have applications for all markets, and pioneered the use of Kelly ratio for money management. So some of that stuff's a little bit above my head, and I'm sure if I sat in his seminar, I'd learn a wealth of knowledge. This guy's been doing it since the mid-'60s. So the other guy that I got to go see was James Altucher. I probably pronounced that wrong. I think it's Altucher. But he's the founder of StockPicker.com, and he's been on CNBC a bunch of times, and this guy is always accurate in what he assesses. And here's a brief synopsis on James Altucher. James Altucher is a managing member of Formula Capital, LLC, a fund of hedge funds. and is the founder of StockPicker.com. StockPicker is PICKR.com, an online social network for stock picking. He previously acted as CEO and board member of Valtis Inc., a wireless data solutions provider for Fortune 500 companies. During the same time, Mr. Altucher was partner in 212 Ventures, a New York-based venture capital firm funded by InvestCorp between March of 2000 and June of 2001. Since 2002, he has also been a columnist for TheStreet.com, Street Insight, Street View, and most recently Financial Times. So there's just a couple of people that I mentioned from the conference. There's dozens and dozens of these people there, but those are just some of the top guys that I liked, and I took a bunch of stuff home with me that is going to really help me progress my trading strategies.
Hey, Sumo, just out of curiosity, when it comes to the OTC markets and a lot of the penny stock websites and the companies that we kind of know based off of the fact of being on Investors Hub and all that, did you see any of them there?
Not as much this year as in the past. In the past I've seen Investors Hub have a booth there. I didn't see them there this year.
Gotcha. Okay.
So,
just
but
curious.
there are. I have seen some like TSX companies maybe, or like junior mining companies out of Canada, but none really pertaining to the OTC.
Gotcha.
Most of the stocks that people are talking about at these events are listed securities. Like if I'm sitting in a seminar and they're going over a chart, they're talking about Apple or Microsoft.
Okay, and then for those of us that never been there, I assume the brokers are all there, correct?
They have, yep. Fidelity sponsored it. There's TD Ameritrade, Charles Schwab, TradeStation. Those are just a couple. I saw Sogo Trade and E-Trade and whatever other the major ones. I mean, these booths for to present at these shows are definitely not cheap, and these events go across the country. They constantly have to set up. There's the next one's coming up here soon. You go to the website. The Money Show is moneyshow.com, and you can get the dates. March 27th through the 29th. It's going to be in Vancouver. June 6th through the 8th. It'll be in Dallas. Those are two that I've seen, and I know in May they're going to be in Vegas. May 14th through the 17th.
And are there any company? I mean, I assume there's companies sitting there, right?
Oh, there's all kinds of different companies. Most of them are tools for traders. They're different softwares, different apps,
platforms and stuff like that.
Platforms. Yep.
Did you see Equity Feed there by any chance?
No, I didn't see Equity Feed. Market Watch was there. Forbes, Active Trader, Barron's, Traders World, Traders Log, Forex Pros, a couple other people that were sponsoring the event. So there's a lot of mainly there's a lot of like options, Forex, futures, and commodities. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of people like me there.
Okay. All right.
That's the great thing, though. There's something there for everyone.
Okay.
If you're a trader.
All right. So if you've never been and you're an active trader, it's something that you might want to look to if it's in your town. So did it cost you money to get in? I assume it does. No,
it's a free event, and that's the thing. A lot of the people that frequent, it's a long event. There's 3 days. So most of the people that are coming in there, they're just looking for free stuff, handouts, and whatnot. But there are some very knowledgeable people, the people that are presenting, and the people that have the booth set up. Most of the people that frequent, they're like me. They want to learn. They want to interact with other traders, see what other traders are talking about, and how they're learning and benefiting. There's a lot of paid seminars at the event also. Different paid workshops.
Did you happen to see anything that would not be in the norm that we would know of? Like something that really caught your eye? anything new coming out, anything like that? No?
No, I didn't see anything in that respect.
Okay. All right. Very good. That was STT on location. Very good, Sumo. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for taking the time out to go there.
Oh, it was awesome. I was getting some flyers out, letting people know about the show, and I'm glad I took the time and spent down there because I learned a lot.
Fantastic. Okay. Now, let's move over to surfing with Sifakia. Sifi, you have 9 minutes, and I'm going to cut you off if necessary.
Okay.
Let me bring you in properly, because I love your intro. Here we go. Oh, and I want to give a big shout-out to Mr. Joseph Coffey. Joins us every single night. Thank you. Keeps our Blog Talk chat room up to date on what's going on with the show. Posts just great information. So I just want to give him a thank you. Thank you very much from me. I don't know if the rest of the crew wants to thank you because I'm the only one that's in here that actually sees you. But I'm sure they're thankful too. So thank you, Mr. Coffey.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Let's go on here. Here we go. Surfing with Sifakia. And now here he is, Sifakia.
Thanks, boss. Appreciate that little intro. We're going to have to get a new one here pretty soon, I'll tell you that, man. I know you love it, but...
Hey, make your own then.
Okay, I'll do that. That's fair.
Okay.
All right. So we back into the picture with Euro worries. Ain't going away anytime soon. That's okay. You didn't see the market. I mean, everybody's looking for this sell-off. They pushed us down a whole 27 points. Wow. And, I mean, that's with, really low volume, thin as thin can be. Got a little backup there in somebody's mic.
Hold on.
Sumo.
You're on the show one night and you caused feedback?
All right. And, I mean, basically, guys, you had a few things that probably kept us from rallying again, like Fitch cutting the Greek sovereign debt to C from triple C. Oh, my God, you got to be kidding me. You also had China manufacturing sector contracting for the 4th month in a row, yada, yada, yada. And you saw pretty much just a whole lot of nothing going on today. And the virus has been updated. All right. And basically, guys, that 13,000 level, it's definitely going to be tough to get through. I actually took a little short position today, doing it through the puts and the SPY. You saw the banks leading us lower. I think you just got to really stick to what this market's going to give us and look for, find your resistances and your supports and stick with them. And one great way to do that is just going with moving averages, guys. Those are the first thing you want to look at. Where's those moving averages? Pull up the daily, pull up the weekly. So enough with that. Tomorrow, guys, we got the economic calendar, and we all know what comes at 8:30 a.m. I talk about it every night. Sorry, I got a little frog in my voice tonight. But 8:30 a.m., you got your economic calendar kicking off with that initial jobless claims, guys, and forecast is 360K. The market's expecting less at 355, and prior we saw it 348. We all remember what happened last week when it came in nice. So look for that. You also got the continuing claims, and that's at the same time. They're both very important, so watch that. At 10 a.m., you got the FHFA Housing Price Index, and at 11 a.m., you got your crude inventories. Keep your eye on that because we've all seen the oil going crazy. You got all this Iran trips going on, Middle East stuff, and, keep your eye on that because it's a mover. And Another thing about oil is, Dow 13,000. How is the higher gas price? I think we hit almost all-time highs at the pump earlier this week. So, but with all that being said, we're still on track for our best 2-month start since 1991. So let's not forget where we came from, guys. Remember October, end of the world? We just keep cranking higher. So let's look at some earnings tomorrow, and we've got a whole 145 of them. So we're going to go just a little over the top, see what's looking good. We got before the open, we've got 3D Systems, ticker DDD. You got American Tower, AMT. You've got, who else you got on here? You got Bill Barrett, BBG. You got Checkpoint Systems, CKP. You got Commonwealth REIT, CWH. You got Dish Network, DISH. You got, who else is good on here? You got Hormel Foods, HRL. You got IMAX, IMAX. You've got KBW, and that's KBW. You got Kohl's, KSS. You got Lin Energy, LINE. You got Office Max, OMX. You got Safeway, SWY. You've got Sears Holdings. Watch that one, SHLD. We all know what happened with that. They got took out back, and it's going to fill the gap. It's amazing, and we've seen it time and time again with these big names. You get these big names that we talked about. They're real companies. You can go down there. Everybody knows about them, whether it's a Sears, a Wendy's, a Radio Shack. They got a really high short interest. They get taken out back, and then they just run them right back to the moon. So we got Target, TGT. We got Telefax, TFX. We got Trina Solar, TSL. And we've also got World Wrestling, WWE. Didn't even know that thing was still going on. After the close, we've got 51 Job, JOBS. You got AIG, American International. You got Autodesk, ADSK. You've also got Crocs, CROX. And you guys, I'm just going over the ones that I think are going to be movers, the volatility, things you want to look at. Here's another one, big short interest, First Solar, FSLR. You got Gap, GPS. You've got Dynamic Materials, BOOM. Boom. Put that on the freaking radar just for the fun of it. You got Live Nation, LYV. You got Kindred Healthcare, KND. You got Marvel, MRVL. You've got Molycorp, guys. Here's one I want to look at, MCP. Let's pull this up real quick, just for fun, because this is something that you got to do the due diligence on it. You got to look into it. The rare earth, China's dominating it. They've made a lot of comments, and when you look at this chart, some people might call it a multiple bottom, triple bottom, double bottom. I don't know what you want to call it, but if you're going all the way back to, June, July, when this thing really started falling off, this thing was up. The 52-week high on this is 79.16, the low 23.05. It's got a 22.16 short float. Today was up to 2.36%. So radar that one. Yep. That's right.
Fantastic stuff there, Sifikia. Sorry I had to cut you off.
No problem.
Little short, but good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, don't forget, join us tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday, 7 p.m., Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 2 weeks from now, Stock Traders Talk pre-market radio show coming to you. It's 2 weeks from now. From everybody here at Stock Traders Talk Radio to everybody out there in Stock Trader Talk Radio listening land. Boy, did I stumble through that one. We wish you all the best with all your trades. May your portfolio be green. This is STT Radio, and we are out.
Hello.
Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio. All views and topics talked about on Stock Traders Talk Radio is solely for entertainment purposes. We are not professional financial advisors and always recommend you seek the advice of a professional financial advisor. Never invest in any stock featured on our show unless you can afford to lose your entire investment. The information contained on our show is based on sources which we believe to be reliable, but is not guaranteed by us as being accurate. and might not be a complete statement or summary of the available data. Stock Traders Talk Radio advises that the investments in companies profiled are commonly considered to be high risk, and use of the information provided is at the investor's sole risk. Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio.